welcome to Phillip Island, Victoria in Australia. What a setting we have for this great sporting contest, the Little Penguin Sea to Dune race. Nervous moments always as they gather on the beach, the tension mounting, and away they go. There's the defending champion, wearing his familiar navy blue and white, great waddling style. Another pre-race favourite though, losing touch with the pack. Maybe that's why. A few too many fish in the day's feeding. There's a familiar face, Skip McIntyre, 8 times a champion back in the 90s, a very successful coach now, keeping a keen eye on proceedings. This the leading group, 1 or 2 still able to put on a show for the camera, others just ploughing straight over it. Some resorting to shortcuts. Sad that cheating has crept into this beautiful sport. The judges will have a look at that. But up at the front, the pace is relentless, closing in on those sand dunes that will offer a bed for the night. The fatigue starting to tell. Who's got the finishing kick up on the outside? What a turn of pace from that one, whichever one it is. No answer from the rest, and he takes victory. What a win. There we are, into the Burrow, building an extension with his winnings, and back tomorrow to try and defend his title here on Phillip Island.
Everybody, welcome to Live Penguin TV. My name's Sky. I'm going to be your host for the evening, and I'm joined by the lovely Ranger T.
Hello everybody, welcome to another fabulous episode of Penguin Live TV. Now I'm going to be trying to answer questions on Facebook tonight, so give us a few hard ones, but also think about your most memorable moment, because we've had a couple of interesting comments that I'll let Sky tell you all about.
Yes, we have. So before we go any further, I will just acknowledge the traditional custodians of the land on which we are watching these penguins tonight, or what I and T are watching the penguins tonight. That is the Boonwurrung of the Kulin Nation, and I'd like to pay my respects to elders past, present and emerging. And yes, we would love to hear your memories of the Penguin Parade tonight, because my goodness everybody, we've had a special tweet in the last 24 hours, and I'm going to read it out for you. It was none other than the incredible Kylie Minogue, and she wrote, "When I was about 8 years old, my family took many a trip to Phillip Island. One of the things we would do was wrap ourselves in blankets and head down to the coast to watch the penguins waddle from the sea to their burrows in the sand dunes." Jump cut to 2021 right now, and you can now check out nightly live streams of the famous Penguin Parade over here, right here, Facebook, Phillip Island or YouTube. These little cuties are reaching the world via your screens, but they still have all the charm that I remember when I was a kid. And she says, "Oh," and there's like a love heart emoji. So Kylie Minogue has been watching the live stream. So welcome to anybody who is watching, because Kylie has directed them to us. Thank you so much for coming to visit us. We think you are absolutely going to love the penguins as much as Kylie does. And we would love to hear, that was Kylie's story of her memories of Phillip Island. We would love to hear your memories of when you came to the Penguin Parade, if you've come to the Penguin Parade. If you've never been to the Penguin Parade, oh, we've got penguins, but you've watched the live streams with us before, we'd love to hear your favourite memories of the Penguin Parade live stream. we want all your best penguin memories tonight in honor of the fact that Kylie Minogue is a fan of our live stream and a fan of our little penguins. So we've got penguins just having arrived. Oh, we've got to start.
We have got to start.
Fantastic, we've got to start. So I think further down the beach, the penguins have started crossing the beach more significantly than they have here. These ones are just on the very edge. So for those of you who are watching for the first time, particularly those of you from the UK, welcome. Welcome to our live stream. And what you're seeing now is the smallest and the cutest species of penguin in the whole wide world, the little penguin. That is their name, little by nature. Only about 33 centimeters tall, these little penguins are. Only about 1 kilo in weight. And they, at sunset, they cross our beach, which is covered in seaweed tonight. It's a real sort of, it's a hike over mountains tonight. At sunset, they leave the ocean and they cross this beach and head back to their burrows, exactly like Kylie said. And what happens is out in the water, so we'll sort of zoom out so that we can see out in the water. I'll have a look along the beach to see if we've got any more as they sort of try to traverse that seaweed kelpie mountain. Out in the water, they find each other in what we call rafts. So these penguins spend the day by themselves, hunting, looking for food, eating pilchards and anchovies and all sorts of delicious penguin-y seafood that they like to eat. They spend the day by themselves, but at nighttime they gather together in what we call rafts, or to quote Kylie, they jump on board. They jump on board a raft and they raft up together, they swim in together, and they arrive together on the edge of the water here because they want to cross this beach in a big group. Now, the way that they find each other when they are crossing or getting ready to cross this beach is they make a little hucking noise, and it sounds a little bit like this. And it's often the first thing you hear before you even see the penguins. If you're out there on the stands, you would hear that hucking noise and go, the penguins are on their way. And then the penguins arrive on the edge. Because they've hucked, they've found each other, they've formed into what we call these rafts and swum in together so that there can be safety in numbers for them to cross this beach. And that is because they are the smallest penguin in the world, and they are a bite-sized snack for birds of prey circling in the sky that would love to eat them. So there's safety in numbers if they all come in together under the cover of darkness. The darkness means that hopefully their predators have gone to bed. And then, this parade that we see is, I guess, an extra precaution. So penguins all around the rest of the world, they tend to just come up in drips and drabs. When they're done being in the ocean, they just pop on up. You know, you might have seen footage of penguins sort of just jumping up onto ice platforms in Antarctica and things like that. Not our penguins, no. They come in all at once. And that's why we have this gorgeous parade. And here we are, they're going. They're off and they're racing. They've made it halfway across the beach and they are absolutely gunning it. You can see their bright white bellies and their blue feathers. The only penguins in the world that have blue feathers rather than black feathers. So they're making this, we call it the dangerous dash across the beach. Hoping not to get gobbled up. And we don't want to see them get gobbled up tonight either, my goodness. Certainly at the Penguin Parade, we are on the team of the penguin, aren't we? We're all about protecting the penguins. And so if you can have a look in the description, you might see that we are promoting our Penguin Foundation. If you click through to the link there, you can adopt a penguin, you can adopt a bandicoot, you can adopt a koala, you can adopt all sorts of animals. And the money that you spend on that adoption does help look after these little penguins. It helps the research conservation for these penguins and all sorts of other animals and wildlife that we have here on Phillip Island. So it's a worthy cause because we're Phillip Island Nature Parks. We are self-funded, a not-for-profit conservation organisation. We usually rely on people coming to visit us, but at the moment, if you can't come to visit us, then a great way to support us is to jump on the Penguin Foundation and donate.
And on our Kylie note, Sky.
Yes, have you got news, T?
Did you know that Kylie was actually an ambassador for our Penguin Foundation
Cool.
back in 2007?
Oh, fantastic. So, yeah, she really has been a supporter of these penguins for quite some time. Oh, good on her. We love Kylie. We hope you all love Kylie too. She's a local girl, comes from Melbourne, just up the road. And yeah, has obviously been a fan of our penguins for a long time and has cared about our penguins and supported our penguins for a long time. So we really appreciate her support. We need more people in the world who want to care and support for our little penguins. Here they are. Let's do a bit of a close-up so we can get just a good look at just how cute they are.
I think we should be so lucky if she'd come and visit us again.
We would love, so Kylie, if you're watching, we would love to have you here. Please come and visit us anytime. We'll get T and I will give you a personal tour. Don't you worry about it. Especially for you. Oh, Kylie, I'm so sorry for that. I hope you're watching. I hope you're enjoying the little penguins. I hope you've got your blanket. I hope you're rugged up in your blanket and you're watching and you're enjoying this and it's bringing a smile to your dial. Same for everybody, particularly those of you who are in the UK. We know it hasn't been such an easy time for you recently, so we hope that these penguins are making you smile. Certainly when we in Victoria were being asked to stay inside for an extended period of time, the penguins, I know, brought smiles to the dials of many Victorians. So we're hoping that those of you who are tuning in from the UK are finding this a bit of a cathartic morning experience, a nice way to start your day, to watch these cute little waddlers and look at them go, waddle their way back to their burrows. And there's lots of reasons that they're coming in tonight. So they do spend 80% of their life out in the ocean. 80% of their life is devoted to the ocean because that's their supermarket, that's where their food is. But they do spend 20% of their time on land, and we do see a fair bit of the penguins at this time of year. Let's go back and see if there's any more penguins arriving at the water. We do see a fair few, or I reckon that's some white bellies, fair few penguins at this time of year is what I'm trying to say, because it is the end of the breeding season. The breeding season is just beginning to slow down now, and it is the beginning of the molting season. So we're just seeing the last little chickies fledging, heading on out into the ocean for the first time, ready to begin their penguiny life. They're going to go adventuring far and wide. They're going to spend a good year, a good penguin gap year, exploring the Southern Ocean along the coast of Australia, probably even as far as about the border to South Australia. Some of these little guys will go, and then they're gonna think about coming back in about a year from now, which is exciting, to do their first molt. Now, most of the other penguins are coming back to molt at the moment, so we might see some really chunky penguins tonight. If you see a really chunky penguin who can barely move, and actually I saw in the comments a little bit earlier somebody's favorite memory of Phillip Island was a very chunky penguin who could barely walk and kept stopping on the middle of the path to take a break because they were so chunky and they couldn't get themselves home. And we might see a few of those large penguins tonight, because when our penguins get rid of all of their feathers in one go, it does mean that they're no longer waterproof. And if they're not waterproof, they can't go into the water. And if they can't go into the water, they can't eat. So they have to stock up on food for a good 17 days. They need to be able to survive 17 days without eating, which means that we sometimes see penguins almost double in weight around this time. We see some huge penguins, and it really is, we call it expensive. It's an expensive thing that these penguins have to go through this molt. It takes a lot of their energy, it takes a lot of their weight, and yet sometimes we'll find that they will then halve their weight. So if they're going to halve their weight, they need to double their weight in advance. So yeah, we're going to be seeing hopefully some chunky penguins tonight. And let's see some of these chunky penguins waddling up now. Now there's a bit of a chunky looking penguin in there's a big chunky penguin here. Hello. Let's get a good look at you. Oh, yeah.
Oh, my lordy.
Yeah. You're going, oh, bandicoot! Just
Yes.
ran across. Oh, and gone, just like that. Whisked away. Well, that was a fleeting sight of an eastern barred bandicoot, which is a special species that is extinct on the mainland here in Australia, but Phillip Island is a safe haven for them because, of course, we are fox-free. We managed to get fox-free about 5 or 6 years ago. We got rid of the very last fox, and we've been fox-free for about 4 years now, which is fantastic. It's great because they could kill so many penguins in one night, and we could not have bandicoots on this island that would have any hope of survival if we still had foxes. So the fact that we are fox-free means that we can be quite a lovely haven for so many animals. And this is why a donation to the Penguin Foundation is such a worthy cause, because we are doing so much important conservation work here at Phillip Island Nature Parks, and some really big picture thinking and big picture ideas. You know, I couldn't believe, before I worked here, I couldn't believe when I was told that Phillip Island was fox-free. I thought, gee, that is a big effort. How on earth did they get fox-free? And it did not happen overnight. It was a very long and painful process, but it did happen. So really inspiring stuff happening here at Phillip Island Nature Parks. So yes, we're seeing some chunky penguins. Oh, now I was talking a little bit, if you look on the screen above me, there's some chunky penguins that we can still see on the side of the highway now. In fact, I might go back to them because, though we do have another raft, I can see some more penguins arriving. I can see white bellies arriving. But this camera is a bit, I think there must be a bit of a sea mist tonight. It's a little bit grainy tonight. I do want to acknowledge those little penguins just above me. Oh, there. Because I think that's some chicks. That's some
It's definitely chicks.
last chicks. I was going to say that there's a chunky penguin there, but yeah, it's a chunky chick. So it's a very well-fed chick who's waiting for mum and dad to come home. Though by the looks of it, they barely need mum or dad for much longer. They look like they are just about ready to fledge. So yeah, it's a really wonderful time of year. If you can come and visit, now is a great time to come visit because you can still see some chicks, but you're also seeing some really grumpy molting penguins with half their feathers gone. A really interesting time to see a bit of a crossover, to see two really interesting stages in these penguins' life cycles. So we'll watch these penguins as they come through, and we might catch those chicks a little bit later.
Okay, we've had a couple of people asking how many did we have last night?
Oh, yeah, good one. I forgot to tell you right up the top. Yes, so we had one. Have a guess. Any guesses?
Hasn't been any random guesses tonight?
No, okay. Well, I will just let you know then that it was 1,346 penguins across the beach last night. So still really big numbers of penguins. And they came in at about 8:13. I think it was even earlier tonight.
It was 8:08 tonight.
8:08 tonight, so really early starts. It's getting earlier and earlier because, of course, they do wait until the sun sets. But as the sun is setting earlier and earlier, as we here in the Southern Hemisphere head towards autumn, we're in autumn and we're heading towards winter, of course, we are going to see earlier and earlier start times. And in the depths of winter, we sometimes start, around like 5:30, 5:45, 6 o'clock. Really, really early start times.
We're usually home by dinner time.
Yeah. In the summer, you have to have your dinner before you go to your work shift. And in the winter, you have your dinner afterwards. Certainly, when we started these live streams in August, I know that lots of young children were able to watch because the penguins were coming in right at dinner time. Oh, that's got to be a pre-molting penguin. Look at that chunky one there. That one can't be doing this dash too many more times before ready to push those feathers out. Fantastic. Have we had any Phillip Island memories come in yet, T?
We have had, so... There's one from Cambridge in the UK. So this time last year, they came over to visit friends.
This time last year, wow.
And they just beat all of the lockdowns.
This time you just have only been at home. We're really getting on to, it's about a year since everything kicked off, isn't it? So,
it is indeed.
Wow, what a great story. So thank you for watching from Cambridge. We hope you're going all right in the UK. We hope you're enjoying the penguins in the morning. So we're watching these little penguins waddle along, and yes, we all look at this chick. Look at that fluffy back, and they are hassling. They're chasing any adult. Look at this. The chase is on. They're saying, are you my mum? Are you my dad? Give me food. Now, ideally, a penguin who is not the adult, the parent, the mum or the dad of these chicks, should not feed these chicks, but they can be real bullies. Now, I would say they're both chicks. That would be my guess, since they're hanging around and they're both hassling. However, you notice that one... Come on, camera, let's get some... Oh, yeah, there we go. One is looking really fluffy. The other one seems to have got most of its adult feathers, whereas the other one still has got a lot of that baby fluff, hasn't it? So that's my guess. I'd say they're both little chickies hanging around. Oh, missing some penguins walking past now.
So we've got one memory from a Waddle Watcher.
Oh, yes, okay.
From live TV.
Uh-huh.
Tim Tay, when he coined the phrase bandicoot.
Yes. So, hi, Tim Tay. Yeah, and we did see a bandicoot just before. Yes, so bandicoots are bandicoot. I love that, and I love that you came up with that, and I've stolen it ever since, haven't I, Tim? Fantastic. And we really appreciate all you regular watchers who tune in night after night. We really appreciate you supporting us and enjoying the penguins. And we hope that this is still making you smile even all these months later. We're still having fun doing it. However, it is worth mentioning that this was always going to only be a month of live streams for the UK. So come this Sunday, as far as I know, I haven't had any word that it's going to be different. Come this Sunday, that will be our last regular live stream for some time. So get your fill of these penguins for the next few nights. And don't you worry, we do still have the cameras, and we will still be doing live streams from time to time. So we're not going to leave you completely without penguins. But yes, this was a 1 month, a special one live streams for the UK. And that 1 month, I can't believe it, is coming to a close. Yeah, as of a few nights from now. I believe we started on the 14th or 15th. And of course, we had our expert live streams before that too. So you've actually got almost a good 6 weeks of live streams. We've got to do a good 6 weeks of live streams. It's been great fun. And we are just so pleased that Kylie Minogue has enjoyed them. We've had Michaela Strachan, and that was a buzz. We've had Ray Mears. It's been a really fantastic experience doing these special streams for the UK. We've really enjoyed it. And we hope these penguins have enjoyed being showcased to the world. But I have a feeling they don't even know, because of course we're really trying our best here at the Phillip Island Nature Parks to minimise our impact on these penguins, and we do it really well actually. I don't want to blow our own horn, but we do a fantastic job at it. So back in the day, about 100 years ago was when people started to come and watch these penguins. And back in the day, you would just park your car up the top of the dunes and walk out over across the penguin colony and sit down on the beach. And while that does sound really nice, it sounds like a really organic experience sitting on the beach and the penguins walking past you. Of course, with no special paths, with no boardwalks, people were, of course, accidentally trampling these penguins. And then we've got pictures of people coming to visit the penguins in the 70s. We've got a picture from, I think, Australia Day in the 70s, one of the Australia Days. And the beach is absolutely packed with thousands and thousands of people. And there are dogs and there are all sorts of things going on. And you think, oh, that can't have been good for the poor penguins. And of course, through the 80s, we did see the numbers of penguins steadily decline. So things did have to change, and now we are getting it so right, everybody. So thanks to Phillip Island Nature Parks for stepping in and really looking after these penguins. We now have boardwalks that we walk on. So it's sort of like a reverse zoo. It's sort of like the penguins or the people are in captivity, are in their little enclosures on the boardwalks, and the penguins have complete space. So this means we're not stepping on burrows anymore. It means we're out of their space. We have different sorts of lights. We don't have bright white lights. We have lights with a bit of a red tint on them because penguins don't see very well in the red light spectrum. So they don't tend to notice these lights as much as they would if they were bright white. We have rules like people can't take photos at the penguins, which is really sad for the people, but it's really fantastic for the penguins because there's no bright flashes going off in their faces. So we really are trying to minimize the impact on the penguins. And the great news is it's working. And the reason we know that is because we have done studies between what happens here at the Penguin Parade and what happens a little way up in the colony where there's no lights, no people, no noises, no nothing. And the same amount of penguins come back at about the same time each night. They have the same amount of chicks who have the same amount of success when they eventually do come back as well. So we are finding that there's no statistical difference between this spot here, the Penguin Parade, and where there's absolutely no humans at all. So based on that, we know that what we're doing here is not impacting on the penguins negatively, which is fantastic because it means that when you come and watch these penguins, you can do it absolutely guilt-free. You can in fact know that you are helping the penguins because the money that you spend to come and visit is essentially a donation towards keeping these penguins safe and looking after them for future generations. So look, it's a good cause and a good time. You can't go wrong. I just think that's really fantastic. Sometimes when you do things with that, particularly me with my conservation background, you want to go and see the animals, but you don't want to contribute to any issues that these animals might have. And you can come and visit here the Penguin Parade with a completely clear conscience. All right, we've got 5 minutes left, everybody. So do we have any more memories? Do we have any questions? Anything from the comments, T?
We've got one comment that I think is absolutely lovely.
Yes.
Sherilee.
Hi, Sherilee.
She's been given a penguin adoption today for her wedding anniversary.
Oh, happy wedding anniversary, Sherilee. That's so exciting. And what a great present. I'd say whoever got that for you knows you very well. And that is a lovely, lovely gift. Once again, not only a lovely gift, but a fantastic donation and a fantastic contribution to helping these little penguins. So yeah, all of these little choices that people make, whether it's adopting a penguin, whether it's coming to visit these penguins, whether it's blowing bubbles instead of balloons at your next outdoor event, all of these little choices that we make do contribute to helping these penguins. Never for a second think that because you live in the UK or because you live in Melbourne or because you live far away. I know we've got viewers from California who tune in night after night. Just because you live far away from these penguins does not mean that you can't contribute to helping them. And you can do it for just as simply as at your next outdoor event, blow bubbles instead of balloons. Don't let those balloons fly off into the air because they do eventually drop down. They do find their way into our waterways. They do find their way into their oceans or our oceans, and then they unfortunately find their way into seabirds' bellies. And compared to hard plastic, they are much, 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 much more fatal than hard plastic if ingested. I think it's 32 times more likely to cause death. It was found in a recent CSIRO study. 32 times. That is huge. And it's such an easy choice to make. That's what I really like about this message, is we're not asking you to coordinate the buyback of the Summerland Peninsula. We're not asking you to be the next Dr. Peter Dan. We're not asking you to rid an island of foxes. No, we're just saying, hey, if you want to use balloons, use them indoors. How simple is that? Such an easy thing to do, and you're making such a concrete difference. So I really love that as a great message, as an easy conservation message that we can all be a part of. Such an easy thing to do. So we're seeing some preening behaviour here. These penguins are fixing up their feathers before they go any further on their journey home tonight. Oh, we've got another pre-molter in the middle here. Have a look at that. And a few chunky penguins in there. I would not fancy having to completely regrow a whole set of feathers in 2.5 weeks, T. It's a big ask.
It's a huge ask.
Ugh. It's very uncomfortable. I think we did a Facebook post recently. It's the most uncomfortable time of the year. Ugh. Yeah, I reckon. I wouldn't much fancy it. Oh, to the Penguin Highway. Let's watch them waddle.
Okay, we've got a challenge for you, Sky.
A challenge, okay. Do I accept?
If you're on before Sunday, JD would like you to adapt a Kylie song to penguinese it and sing a little.
Oh, okay. So let me get this right. The challenge is to make a Kylie song
In penguinese.
Penguinese. All right. I think I'm back on Sunday. So I tentatively accept your challenge. And
we're all going to watch now.
I might have to get some help from you, T, to come up with a way to turn our Kylie. Oh, you guys know I love to sing. Yes, let's think about how we can
I think we can help you with that one.
Penguin up a Kylie song. Well, you were penguining up a Kylie song before, weren't you?
Oh, the penguin locomotion.
Yeah, the penguin locomotion. That's exactly what I was thinking of, T. Well, there you go. So actually, with the last 2 minutes, do send through some suggestions of how I can penguin up a Kylie song, because I'll read through the comments a little bit later, and I will take on your suggestions, because that sounds like an easier way for me to do it, doesn't it? To call on the brains trust and get all of your suggestions, and I'll see how I can work it into a song for Sunday night for our grand finale of these UK live streams. But with this last little waddle of penguins waddling their way past the camera, we are going to be... Oh, you can actually see the fish in the neck there, can't you? You can see the...
Oh, my
so
lordy.
interesting. Don't know if I've seen it that distinctive before. Let's see if we can catch it on the way home. Yeah, with this last waddle of penguins,
huge.
It is going to be time to say farewell. So we hope you've enjoyed the live stream tonight. We hope you've enjoyed them this month. But we will see you again tomorrow night. We've still got a few left up our sleeves. So don't you worry about that. So thank you everyone for watching. Remember to donate to the Penguin Foundation if you can. And we'll see you again later. Goodbye, everyone. Do you want to say goodbye, T?